BigWarp provides several ways to visualize the transformation in order to assess how much deformation is being introduced. They're accessible through Settings, BigWarp Options, and Warp Display. Grid is the most intuitive, perhaps. The grid spacing and the grid width change parameters of the grid overlay, and changing the transformation edits the grid that you see on the screen. Large changes or bends in the grid can be indicative of large amounts of deformation. The second option is the warp magnitude visualization, which compares the transformation to one of several selectable baselines. Large values of this source are indicative of large amounts of deformation, and we see that if there's smaller amounts of deformation, as is the case now, there are smaller values in the warp magnitude source. And finally, the Jacobian determinant is quite similar. Large or small values of the Jacobian determinant are indicative of large amounts of deformation. In this case, we see large values here, which become smaller when the deformation is reduced. Small deformation, large deformation.